Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news this week has been a post on how the Delirium launch went, and basically GGG said that they were really pleased with the start of the league, especially with the numbers of players, of course padded with the corona thing that kinda held a lot of people in their homes. And also there was apparently an exacerbated and lengthy DDoS attack on GGG servers, but still things went relatively smoothly, and I gotta say I've seen worse launches anyway, so it seems it actually went pretty well. Of course GGG has been checking the situation of the league, especially checking Reddit and the forums, where a lot of people started complaining as usual at the early of the leagues because the league is overtuned. Anyway, in the meantime, GGG posted a community showcase with a lot of very interesting stuff, and I especially like this artwork over here. It's absolutely amazing, everything about it, the pose, the face, the actual drawing itself, the style. It looks really awesome. Also, this is one of the latest MTX armors. There's more stuff. If you want, you can scroll it down. And after GG examined all of the complaints, and on Reddit I can tell you there was a lot of complaints, and some of it is actually justified, especially for the Delirium League. There have been problems of extreme damage, especially for the exploding monsters that kinda exploded everywhere, and a very big lack of visibility that you have on the ground, where there's things that spawn when you walk over them, and you have to differentiate between things that spawn and you can actually kill them, and things that spawn and kills you exploding. So you have to be careful where you tread, and the fog covers everything, so it's really hard. Also, you have a very hard time seeing the terrains, so you do not see ledges, you do not see a lot of things, and it gets really hard. So I mean, I can see monsters pretty well over the fog, but the terrain under it gets really crazy, especially on some type of maps. For example, like Glacier, which is white with the fogs on it, it's gray, and it gets really crazy. But anyway, after GG listened to all of this, they kind of reduced pretty much the damage of everything all around in the Delirium, and there's been a couple of bug fixes as well. Most notable is the dual wielding bug that for some specific cases didn't count as dual wielding. So if you had this problem, well, it should be fixed now. And there's still more stuff that's being worked on. Again, more damage on the monster has been reduced, and that's because GGG themselves said it. They usually start with a league overtuned, and then based on players' complaint, they nerf it, and that is because it's much easier to nerf a monster damage, and the player base will receive this change in a positive way than it is to start with very weak monsters and then make them difficult, because the player base wouldn't receive that very happily. So this is how it goes at the beginning of the leagues. It's always a very strong mechanic, and then it gets nerfed down and toned down. And they are also in the meantime nerfing back the serious fight, because it got so much retarded when they kinda removed the cooldowns on the apparition. And then you had things like you get teleported into the maze while you have the gen ground, while the meteor is already coming down. It's basically instant death for everyone. And well, I mean, you can see some of the video, it's totally retarded, so probably not even tested. I don't know how that went down, but still, they're still fixing it. Anyway, in regards to the past content within Delirium, now, or rather as soon as it's implemented, which I think partially it is already, so when you're doing some of the past content, for example an Abyss, Breach, Betrayal Raids, Blight, or that kind of stuff, the Delirium Mist should pause, so it actually allows you to enjoy the encounter within the Delirium. Of course you can still stop the Delirium yourself if you think it's getting too much, but you can actually play Delirium within this past content. And well, I mean, it's actually good, because previously if you had Blight, all of the time it takes for a Blight to spawn, basically the Delirium would just end there. So I don't even know why it worked like that before, but now it should be better. There's also a keybind. Now you can keybind the Delirium end button, which, I mean, I didn't really feel the need for that, but I guess people did, and it didn't take much for GGG to do that, so it's still quality of life. And the rewards should be better. Now you do not only have one type of reward. After you reach the level 3 of one reward, a second type spawns, and when you reach level 3 of the second type, a third spawns, and so on. So you have a more varied loot. You do not have to just end your Delirium if you see it's a chest reward or a weapon reward, because those totally sucks anyway. So very nice quality of life there. Awaken, we already talked. Visibility, they're trying to make it a little bit better, like reducing the mist grading and improving the Delirium visual on monsters. For example, you know, like the Bloodlines monsters look kind of purple, so they're probably gonna do something like that as well for Delirium stuff, especially the exploding ones, since explosion are now pack sized, so like you have a pack of exploding monsters and a lot of packs of non-exploding one. It's not just a random chance for any monster to explode, which was honestly a pretty retarded, especially in closed-in maps or closed-in corridors or whatever. You just couldn't survive in there, and especially for melee builds that was even more exacerbated. And well, again, on death effects should be a bit less crazy, and GG is also working on performances. Some people have been having performance issues. That's what happens every league with everything, so hopefully these are gonna get fixed soon. Also, they're working on a depth meter to just show you how deep you are in the Delirium, which, I mean, would be nice, I guess. Not something that I really feel the need to have, but still another quality of life which wouldn't hurt anyway. Yeah, I guess that was all for this week, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all, I've been your host Orzo, and I'll see you guys the next time.